Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2, and I'm back again with another anime review. This time I'm reviewing an anime that was based off of a dating sim. It's called White Album, and I got the import, and it's only the latter part of the series, and I had seen the beginning part on the internet a long time ago, and I was interested in how it ended. I enjoyed it, and it was different from anything else I've ever seen. This is a story of a love tetrahedron of the most complex variety, and there are many different things that are occurring within this anime in and of itself, including the fact that one of the characters who is part of the record company itself, D3, he he has kind of an unusual obsession with this painting, and of course from the introduction to the series itself, the opening, you see a young girl with long blonde hair, and later on she's cradling another girl who has shorter blonde hair, and then you see another young girl with short raven hair, and it just, I think it's all meant to be symbolic because there are a lot of elements that are um, discussed in the series in and of itself, and the ending left me more confused than satisfied, but I did enjoy it despite that, and there are many times I found myself weeping. It's like a Japanese soap opera, and just the situations that occur are so typical of dating sims in and of themselves. You're given this bevy of different girls, and you even have two or three or more young ladies involved in the idol business, and of course that would be Yuki and Rina, and at the beginning they're rivals, but in the end they start becoming closer as friends, and actually I like that because my favorite part of the whole series was when they finally sing together, but not after. There was a really despicable act that occurs um with Rena, and it it really got to me as a singer because I can't possibly imagine what that would be like. It would just be horrible. I'm not even going to say what happened because it's kind of a shock, but it could happen. And the whole series takes place in 1987 because you see calendars on the wall, and they still are using regular landline phones. They're no, well, they have cell phones, but they're very low tech, and they still have cassette players, and they're recording interviews via cassette. And it's interesting to look back in time at Japan. They were still ahead of us in our technology as far as our technology is concerned in this day and age. But the music is probably my favorite thing in the entire series because it's just so breathtakingly gorgeous. Probably it probably has the most beautiful music I've ever heard in an anime since Aria, which I absolutely adore Aria. And Aria is actually happier than this, and it makes more sense and it's more enjoyable. Though at times you'll find yourself weeping because of a certain song, it just catches you completely off guard. The series itself is it's good. It is enjoyable. I will give it that, and the animation is tremendous. But I wouldn't recommend it for children because there are some adult themes that happen they're hinted at. It's done in a very subtle way, which I appreciated, and it was very clever in the way that it was presented, and in that given the topic itself and the some of the some of the activities that Touya and the girls were participating in. Yeah, I'll leave it up to your imagination to figure out what they were doing exactly. I'm not going to go there, but just the way that it's presented, it's very subtle, but you understand what's going on. I mean, it's not overt and conspicuous, but it's done in such a way that it's tasteful, and it's not offensive in any way, shape, or form. But I wouldn't recommend this to little children. I would probably recommend this to a more adult audience, probably teenager on up, because of the subject matter. There's some language in this as well, which really surprised me. It's the only time I'd come across swearing. I mean, heavy swearing. But that doesn't happen until later in the series. Was I think, I don't know if it was End of Evangelion or Death and Rebirth. Maybe it's Death and Rebirth, because I remember there was a scene in that kind of took me aback a little bit, because I just wasn't expecting the F-bomb to be dropped. And it was a couple times, but according to what was happening in that particular scene, it makes perfect sense. So it didn't really um, surprise me all that much. Um, this is a case of kind of like your typical urusei yatsura kind of deal with you have your main character and all these different women. They are chasing him, and they all love him, but it's a different kind of series, in and of the fact that you have these scandals that are occurring within uh, the Yogata's business, and then you figure out to whom Rina actually belongs, who her mother is, and who Meno-chan's mother is, and yeah, it's also very mysterious in that way, because it's rewarding once you come upon the realization as to who they are, and that they're related even. As you think, whoa, I mean, that's quite a bombshell. And you learn as to why this was and how it was brought all about. It's just different sorts of interactions are occurring here, and it's just different sorts of understandings of life itself and humanity, and it's just, I think it's very intriguing, and liking sociology and psychology, I think people who are in those fields would definitely enjoy this anime. But I would give it at least 3.5, because the ending was very unsatisfactory. It just left me thinking, what? That's all? After all we went through? And yet, Touya hasn't made a decision on any of those women. Ugh. God, what an idiot. But it's just his character. He's smart in a very many great things, mostly academic knowledge, but well, he's smooth with the ladies, but beyond that, he's slow, as Menno would say that. Um, Other than that, it's I wouldn't recommend it for children at all, just because of the things that occur, and the kind of the competitiveness of the idol business, and what is presented in that, and just how cruel people could be, even in, especially within a competitive atmosphere. They show that in the very first season. Actually, you don't see it on this DVD, but I'll show you what it looks like. I felt sort of cheated, but I didn't because I had seen the very first half, so I knew what was going on. But um, basically, it's Rina and Yuki. And I'm not sure whose voice I like better. I like both characters. Um, they are polar opposites. Yuki is very kind and warm and sensitive, and she's very emotional, and she's got this childlike spirit about herself. And Yuki is more adult, and fewer things really affect her, but she does have a heart, and she does have a soul and a conscience, and um, she becomes emotional as well, and she reveals that later to Toya in one of the scenes in the series. But that's probably about all I have to say about White Album, and I really just savored the music because it's absolutely glorious, and whoever was composing the songs, they did just a magnificent job. But my favorite song of all time was the one near the end with Yuki and Rina singing together, because I just felt that they put everything aside and they forgot about all their petty differences and this, that, and the other, and then that's the way it should be, even in a competition and in that kind of realm. It doesn't matter. What really makes life worthwhile are relationships of any shape or form. And that's one thing that I learned from the series, and I definitely recommend it if you're a music lover and or a psychology or sociology lover, because you'll definitely get a lot out of it. But the ending, it left a little bit to be desired, and I was just a tad bit disappointed with it. But beyond that, it's a grand series, and you should definitely check it out because it's very unique in its format, and the artistry is just divine.